Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to APPF1. It is Tier 3, and this is round 5 of 10, so after tonight we will officially hit the halfway point of the season, or we will when we take the checkered flag tonight. Can you delay the race 3 minutes? You have to speak to Joe. I can't. I'm not the master of lobby, I'm afraid. Bacon Bear. Hello, Denko. Welcome to the chat. Where's my controller? Let's quickly get the screen set up to what we need it to be. Track map, lap data. We'll keep that for the time being. So, first car on track is... Hello, Kevin. Nemo is the first car on track. Whilst Nemo's first car on track, let's quickly blast through the Tier 3 standings. Here we go. Tier 3 standings. Right, so after 4 rounds, last week was Imola. Drogon leads the way on 57 points in the Kick Sauber. And in second place, we have Runes on 54 points, 3 points behind Drogon. Then we have Lufus on 52 points, 5 points behind Drogon. Then we've got NMX James, or James Gardner, on 48 points, only 9 points behind. So the top 4 have a real good shout of the title here in Tier 3. And then we've got Robsu in 5th place, and we've got Joey B down in 6th, MS in 7th, Tier in 8th, Nemo in 9th, Josh the Guy down in 10th, Stanley 11th, Ralphie in 12th, Avenir 13th, LB in 14th, OWR Shaggy in 16th, who unfortunately isn't here tonight. Hello, Hugo, in the chat. Nice to have you here. And we have Bacon Bear in 17th, Primeval 18th, and then Manflo rounding off the field. And let's quickly have a look at the constructors, as we can see Nemo has just started his flying lap. Mercedes lead the way on 106 points, 10 points clear of Kick Sauber, and 40 points clear of Ferrari. Ferrari on 66 points. And then we've got Red Bull on 54 points, and then Aston Martin on 48, McLaren on 45, Williams on 27, Haas on 25, Alpine on 21, and the Racing Bulls on 10 points. So Nemo will be the first car to set a time around Zandvoort in reverse, as this is the second time we have raced on Formula One well, actually, no, it's the third time. We did Austria in reverse. And then we did our freaky Silverstone weekend sprint event, where we raced the correct way around in sprint and then reverse in the main race. But today is just a normal format. So we have 18 minutes qualifying and then a race in reverse around Zandvoort. And I believe tyre wear is going to be pretty hard around here. It's looking like a 2-stop strategy as Nemo crosses the line with a 1 minute 10.0, and then James Gardner sets a 1 minute 10.2. Get a few more cars over the line. Manflo crosses the line 118. He's made a mistake somewhere. Drogon still competitive time of 1 minute 10. 0.268. Josh the Guy also sets a 1 minute 10.2, but Tia, the first driver, into the 1 minute 9s. And then Joey B, a 1 minute 9.7. Joey B thinks he can do a 1 minute, 109.3 potentially if he can hook up a lap, as to my intel, which I was told earlier on. So it will be very interesting to see what Joey B is capable of here. Who is coming across the line? That is LB Racing coming to the line, and it's 1 minute 10.9 for LB Racing, having a very subpar season. Is the two-time Tier 3 champion. He did miss last week, unfortunately, so probably just getting back into the swing of things. We also have Runes currently on a lap in the Mercedes. So Runes is our one of our championship protagonists. As he takes a spin, just clips the grass, and his Mercedes says no thank you, and into the gravel he goes. It's a very frustrating mistake. That is nothing you can do. Once the car has had enough, that's it, it's gone. You can forget about trying to save it. And hello, Sumo Gilligan in the chat. How are you, my friend? I'll ignore your comments, and welcome to the tier 3 commentary, the most professional commentary you'll find in APPF1 ever, not just this week, ever, as we follow Avenir on a lap. I was in a practice session with Avenir, so it'll be interesting to see how he can do in his qualifying. I would imagine he's going to be nicely in midfield, unless he can find some good pace. Better than Ghost. Well, thank you, Sumo. That's very good. At least I try and catch all the battles and don't miss any key rivalry battles or overtakes. As I still haven't forgotten that duel we had a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you probably need to get that checked out if you can smell diesel. It's definitely not me. I am diesel free today. So Avenir around the last corner to the line, opens his DRS, keeping the car as far right as possible, and Avenir goes fastest with 1 minute 9.626, and Avenir tops the leaderboard, and he has found that pace, and that is a warning shot to Joey B and Tier out front as well. Nemo running very strong in the Williams with 1 minute 9.987, looking very handy as well in that Golf livery for Williams. Lovely livery, that car. We have Stanley in the pits in 7th. We also have Ralphie who's set a lap on a 1 minute 10.8. We'll ride on board with Ralphie. He's looking pretty handy at the moment. Sumo saying these times are pretty crazy for this tier. Sumo, just out of interest, what is your best time around here? I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. I'll tell you what, in the interest of fairness, I'll tell you my best time. I've done 1 minute 9.6 is my best time. And that was on my first ever proper run. That was just before this session as well. So we will see who else is on a lap, shall we? I don't think MS is on a lap. We've got Bacon Bear, who's just completed a lap. 1 minute 10.8. You might want to get some practice in. I think you might be bluffing there, though, surely. We have Runes stopped on track. You don't want to be stopped for too long, otherwise you're going to be disqualified. He's got himself moving again. So that's good. Primeval is serving a qualifying ban tonight. I honestly can't remember what for. Prime, unfortunately, just I think Primeval can come out and do a warm-up lap to load up a setup, but he can't do any more than that. He's not allowed to set a time or start a fast lap. So Tia slowing down to have another crack at the fastest lap. We'll ride on board with Joe. I think he's on a lap at the moment. He could have took a lot more of that inside curb there and just a lot of understeer on that Red Bull. Surely he's still up on his time, but you can see where he can manifest a lot of time here. As Joey B heading around this tricky left corner. You do not want to clip that curb on the right hand side because you just go straight forward. No, practice sessions do not account for track evolution, Sumo. Definitely worth doing a couple of practice qualifying sessions to get that evolution feel in. As Bacon Bear has said they've hit the pit wall. Yes, I'm expecting a bit of that tonight, a bit of pit wall action. Joey B to the line, and can he go faster? He can't go faster. Wow, He does, but he doesn't take pole. He does go faster by just over a tenth and a half, well, just under a tenth and a half. But Avenir Sinha Roy still leads the way. He's getting ready to do a lap. We also have James Gardner, who's bailed out on a lap, I believe, potentially getting ready to go again. No, he's into the pits, but Josh, the guy, announces himself on the scene in the Red Bull. So both Red Bulls having a very strong qualifying session here, and Josh, the guy, is definitely having his strongest qualifying session so far. There is a car on the right there. Looks like Nemo it is, and I think he's had a little excursion into the barrier. There's definitely a front wing missing on that car. Yes, it's completely missing. He will have to come back into the pits. As you can see, there's just end plate all over the racing line there. As you see, Drogon has driven past it. So Drogon has got no racing line. So we'll see how he does. He is improving by a tenth. I'm expecting all the Sector 1 times to be pretty close, and Sector 2. I think all the time on this track will be won or lost in Sector 3, just by what I can see in practice. It's all about who can manage like their ERS the best as well. So Drogon 0.4 up, and Drogon is looking very handy here. But even so, if he improves by 0.4, he's going to be roughly around LB in 8th position. LB is put in a better lap. It's a 1 minute 10 flat, pretty much. 22 thousandths of a second off to make it around 000. So Drogon around the last corner, straight to the line, and sets a 1 minute 9.6. So yes, he has found an awful lot of time, and that's a great lap from Drogon, the Italian driver. Avenir is he on the lap? It said he was 8 tenths down, but I wouldn't buy that. We'll see in a minute. Although he's looking like he's struggling. Yeah, he's 1.6 down. Perhaps that is the truth. MS has just set a 1 minute 10.3, so he's found half a second. Robsu on the grass. Don't want to be on the grass. You want to be on the tarmac. And Manflo on a lap, and also Ralphie coming to the end of a lap here in the McLaren. As he crosses the line, does Ralphie up to 12th position. We'll see how Manflo gets on. A little bit slow and squirrely, but yeah, he's a second down. I don't think he is on a lap. As Manflo goes for a nice little spin. Sorry, I was just reading the YouTube chat. Sumo, you know you're not allowed a life outside of the game. When you come into commentary or you come into APP is life. You are not allowed to do anything else. You're not allowed to work. You're not allowed to, have partners or anything. Hello, Russian bias in the chat. It's nice to have you in. There's Sumo very sarcastically laughing to even myself or Denko. But yes, we have 4 minutes left in this qualifying session to go, so we're having a bit of a lull here. Tier is on a lap, and he has just completed a lap and gone up to second with a 1 minute 9.6. A great lap from the McLaren, and yeah, you don't want to catch that curb either. It just sends you straight on. I'm sure I would put my month's wages on it tonight that we will see a DNF because someone rides the curb and it just throws them straight on. Yes, Hugo, the entrepreneur in the chat. He's got his hand in many pies, does Hugo. Hello, Kevin, in the chat. APP is just strictly voluntary. We do it because we love the sport. We love the sport an awful lot. Joey B's on a lap. I would probably back out of that lap if I was Joe. I think he has backed out. He's not pushing. No, he's not. And let's see. Just before we get going, I've just had a message sent to me. Oh, wow. Sorry, I just had a message sent to me regarding football in Oxford United. Anyway, Joey B starts his fastest lap. We'll keep an eye on Avenir, who's also gearing up for a fast lap. James Gardner is on a lap. We will ride on board with James Gardner. Bacon Bear is coming into the pits, and I think Bacon Bear could well be done for this session. So I believe James Gardner is the leading car to finish off qualifying. Then we'll keep an eye on Joey B, and we've also got Drogon out there as well, as the times will start coming in thick and fast. Jacko Lacko in the chat. Hello, Jacko. Our tier 2 newbie. As Jacko Lacko will be racing tomorrow. As yes, avoid the grass is a key tip around here. And is James Gardner going to take the tip? I would say just a little bit out of shape out of that last corner. He is indeed. Joey B has bailed on the lap as well, as Joey B still not setting his ultimate best time. Avenir Sinha Roy, we will keep an eye on him, and we also have Josh Tagai. Josh Tagai is not on a lap, so can Avenir stick a spanner in the works? Yes, it's about time your new teammate Jacko Lacko showed up. Be very interested to see what he's like on track. I heard he's returned to the league, but it's been so long. Avenir crosses the line and unfortunately stays in third position. Tier just crossing the line to start one more flying lap. Joey B has retired from the session. Manflow coming around the last corner, crossing the line, not good enough to improve. Ralphie is on a 1 minute 10.4 at the moment. We have MS staying out of the way in the grass as Stanley races to the line and doesn't improve. LB Racing, our two-time tier 3 champion, down in 9th position and just currently not at the races in qualifying. He cannot match the pace of these front runners, but I'm sure he is capable of doing it. We'll stay on board with LB Racing. We also got Runes coming to the line. Can Runes improve? He does, up to 7th position. Who else have we got on track at the moment? We'll stick on board with LB Racing. We've also got to keep an eye on Tier. Tier coming around the last corner, and Tier is definitely one to threaten pole position, potentially, as he races to the line, keeps the car as straight as possible. It's not good enough. It's 1 minute 10 flat. As LB Racing crosses the line, he gets us a 1 minute 9.9 up to 9th position. Nemo is not on a lap. Stanley, is Stanley going to improve? I don't think this is going to be an improvement. It's not, no. Nemo shall not be improving, and when Nemo crosses the line, that is it. There we go. Avenir on an outlap, just slowly towards the line, and we have Robsu in the pits. So Josh Tagai takes his first pole of the season. Very unexpected that was, 109.426 from the Red Bull driver. Then we've got Tier joining him on the front row in the McLaren. in second position. So McLaren and Red Bull on the front row. Then we've got Avenir in third position. Then we've got Joey B in fourth. Then James Gardner in fifth position. Then we've got Drogon in sixth, Runes in seventh, Nemo in eighth, LB Racing in ninth, Stanley in 10th, MS in 11th, Ralphie in 12th, Robson in 13th, Manflow 14th, Bacon Bear in 15th, and then Primeval, who was served his qualifying ban. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there, Jack. Someone's going to go off, or even just, oh, look at the rain. Look at the rain. Hello. This is quite something. So it's looking like... get your predictions in. Don't worry about who finishes where, how many times we're going to see the safety car. This already has the hallmarks to be a Tier 3 classic or an APP classic already. Yes, a wet weather race. Will it be wet all the way through, though? Is yet to be seen, or will it dry up? We know what this track is like. Right, that was very quick. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We are underway for Netherlands reverse. It's a good start for Tia, who gets a much better start than Josh Degai, as already he has passed the Red Bull, and also Drogon making very good moves into turn one. There's a few cars getting caught on the barrier back there, as already a lot of drivers losing out on positions. Let's just quickly get everything up as it should be. Position changes, yes, you can see Josh Degai has had a terrible start from pole position. He's down in 6th at the moment, just struggling in the rain. It's looking like it's going to be intermediates all the way through today's Grand Prix. LB Racing from 9th position up to 3rd. What a start from the Ferrari driver. This is the Tier 3 champion that we know and I would dare say love, as we are currently halfway around the track on lap 1. Drogon, a good start as well at 4 positions as well. It's a great start. These two in 2nd and 3rd, the biggest winners on track. Absolutely. Robsu is also up 6 positions, as James Gardner is as he was in 5th position, as Joey B has also had a terrible start in the Red Bull. He is down in 11th position. I just don't get just don't understand why Joey B just can't hook it together in Tier 3. I know he's joined just to find some pace, but it's just not working out in Tier 3 either. I would have definitely had him down to win a few races by now. Bacon Bear up to 13th, a good start for Bacon. Manflow and Runes is into the pits. One of our championship protagonists has had a terrible start into the pits. That is going to be a front wing change, I am sure of it. But Tia also just way out in front, 2.5 seconds, 3.1. We have a VSC. So something has happened into turn 1. Yes, LB Racing, no front wing, and yes, he's not on the podium anymore. So that is why we have a VSC, the Ferrari without a front wing, which he will be pretty disappointed after that very promising start. MS quietly having a very good start too, up to 7th position. Could this be the week that MS has his strongest race of the season? As we will be getting ready to go back under green flag conditions any minute now. As the drivers are driving around at 40% race speed, just whilst the front wing gets cleared by our virtual stewards. So everybody just driving to a delta and not wanting to lose out and get a drive-through penalty. As Runes, as you can see, his race goes from bad to worse. He's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, and he's already way out of touch, and Runes is having a disaster here tonight, as the race is back underway in green flag conditions. Tia 2 seconds clear out front, as is looking very comfortable in the McLaren. Drogon in 2nd, James Gardner has worked his way up to the podium, which is very good. Avenir in 4th. Josh Tagai in 5th position at the moment. We've got, yes, MS in 6th, Robsu, and we also have yes, that is LB Racing in the pits, actually. Replacing his front wing. Primeval, up 3 positions at the start. He's missing his front left end plate on that Williams, as he is going to quickly have Manflo and Nemo approaching him at rapid speed with that front wing damage. Bacon Bear keeping Ralphie very honest, actually, in the wet. And very interesting to see Bacon Bear moving up the field really nicely in these early stages here. It's all about control. If you can keep the car without damage and just keep it on track and not have any track limits, you'll do very well. Joey B getting onto the back of Stanley in the Aston Martin just ahead. As we can see a bit of side-by-side action here between Robsu and MS, and Robsu finds his way through a very nicely executed overtake. Robsu missing his front right end plate as well, as yes, the Robsu rocket ship continues. Tier already just he's just doubled his lead on that lap pretty much, as that is just, I think, just a bit of well, no, actually it looks like Tier has taken out a timing board, or not timing board, but a brake marker board, should I say, sorry, to get my words correct. So yes, he has lost 8 tenths, so Tier has had a little excursion somewhere as well. You don't want to be having too many of them. James Gardner looking very handy in P3 at the moment. Avenir also looking very handy in P4. Josh Tagai maybe just not acclimatized to these wet weather conditions, very fast in dry conditions around here. But Robsu in 6th, up 10 positions, is the Kick Sauber driver, and is closing up to Josh Tagai very nicely indeed. I know we gave Robsu driver of the day last week, but already an early contender for driver of the day after 4 laps. And yes, this is lap 4 of 36 of Zandvoort in reverse. Stanley and MS ahead. Both got Joey B chasing them down behind. Also, Ralphie is there, and Ralphie has got Bacon Bear close behind, and Bacon Bear by far having their strongest race of the season. And it'll be very interesting to see, as already you can see the 2 Aston Martins making a lunge as Stanley, and don't want to be doing that. You do, rule number 1 in Formula 1 is not to take out your teammate. You just do not do that, as that almost ended in tears. They are side by side going into turn 1, as taking a very wide line was one of those Aston Martins, and MS has retired. MS has retired, is just caught too much barrier, I think. And we do have another VSC. So elaborate. What have you missed? Bacon Bear. Oh no, Bacon Bear's had a collision with Ralphie. Still not a disaster for Bacon Bear. It's a long way to go in this race. Yes, that is crazy. Just a VSC for a crash on the banking in turn 1. As we can see out front, Tier is in a world of his own as it stands. And Drogon is in a very handy second position. And we've got James Gardner, who looks like he's actually closed up on Drogon as the Ferrari driver. So yellow flag conditions once again, going around at 40% race speed around this slow, windy circuit. Yeah, I think it's going to be intermediate conditions all the way through. Manflo gets a drive-through penalty. There might actually be a few penalties dished out there. Yes, Manflo, Nemo, and Robsu. Robsu's just undone all his hard work there, unfortunately, with a drive-through penalty. But he's looking very handy. I mean, even if he takes his drive-through, his worst-case scenario is going to come back out in... in 10th at the moment, as Bacon Bear decides to get rid of this 10-second time penalty. Will that be a front wing change? No, it is a tyre change to ditch the penalty. Would have probably tried to do that under a safety car, or hang out for a safety car for as long as possible. As yes, James Gardner is on the back of Drogon now. The rain is easing up slightly. It wasn't as heavy as when we first started, and you can see perhaps just the track slowly getting a bit of a racing line to it. James Gardner really is closing down on Drogon. Yes, Tyr really does love the rain, says Jacko in the chat. He does. Tyr hasn't got his complimentary track limits penalty yet. He will get that at some point. If he doesn't get that, he will be called in for a drugs test and almost definitely have his race win stripped from him. I want to see 3 seconds next to Tyr's names. As also Robsu is in the pits serving his drive-through penalty, and so is Manflo. Both of these drivers, and I'm sure Robsu had a drive-through penalty. And has Robsu gone on to hard tyres here? What is happening? Oh, I think Robsu's had a nightmare in the pits there. Oh no. Robsu's race. Ooh, be careful. If anyone's going to end up in the barrier, it'll be Robsu now on these hard tyres. That's definitely an error, choosing tyres going into the pits there. I think it's actually going to dry up. Yes, it's stopped raining. Is this just a very early gamble from Robsu, which just isn't going to pay off? As moving out of the way, yeah, you can see even just tapping the accelerator pedal. It's just an ice rink out there for the Kicksauber driver. So Robsu's hard work has come undone. As yes, it has stopped raining and the dry line is slowly appearing. So we should be going on to dry tyres soon. Does he still have yeah, I'm sure he still does have a drive-through, does Robsu. And yeah, unfortunately, Robsu's day has just gone from bad to worse. Well, his day actually went really good at the start, but now it's just crumbled, and it just goes to show how quickly your race can fall apart if you just make a single mistake. As we'll ride on board with James Gardner, it shouldn't be too long before we see DRS activated as the track dries up just that little bit more. And James Gardner really needs to get this overtake done if he wants any chance to challenge Tyr for this race. And Tyr will not want it to dry up. He loves the wet conditions. And well, when the track dries up, it's a completely different ball game. We saw in qualifying, Josh the guy was a completely different driver in the dry conditions. So it will be very interesting to see how he gets along. Joey B has also made a few positions here on track 2. Also gained a position courtesy of MS's retirement, and James Gardner just stuck behind Drogon. Drogon caught the curb. As you can see, Tyr sets the fastest lap as the track is getting faster and faster. So James Gardner managing his pace behind Drogon at the moment. We have yellow flags in sector 3 as James Gardner looks for a lunge at the inside of Drogon into the hairpin, and he gets the move done. It's a great overtake as Robsu is still on track. Yes, he has served his drive-through, and at this point I wouldn't encourage to retire in the pits, but I would not be surprised to see that Robsu retiring in the pits. Yeah, it's just very unfortunate. It's looking very damp still out there and greasy, so still a long way off dry tyre conditions at the moment, but the rain has stopped. Now, James Gardner has clear air in front of him. Can he close up to Tyr? We'll keep an eye on that gap. It's 8.1 seconds at the moment, and to be fair, it's 8.0. Well, yeah, it's coming down quite quick is the gap to Tyr. James Gardner is on the move. Yeah, Runes, the chat saying that Runes has bottled it. There's a long way to go in this race. Safety car can haul him back into it. We've seen many times safety car coming to driver's rescue in any race. Avenir goes fastest now, so the track is coming to life for some of these intermediate tyres. As you can see, the dry line appearing on track, and Drogon is going to have Avenir in close company as well. In the next few laps, Avenir is motoring along nicely. LB Racing goes fastest, but we're going to see fastest lap after fastest lap as the track dries out and these intermediates. And yes, I'm sorry, Robsu, for you retiring in the pits. I would have probably done the same. I'd have probably had a bit of a head loss with that. Very unfortunate after such a great start. Was definitely on for driver of the day if he carried on that sort of pace. That's a great shame. Avenir, I don't know what's going on with Drogon. Maybe Drogon's intermediates have just had enough, or they've checked out. But Avenir has closed up a lot to Drogon in the last couple of laps or so, as Manflo is the first driver to receive a track limits penalty. I think you'll only get a track limits penalty if you catch like the curbs and it drives you off. I think it's going to be one of those helpless penalties, so it's going to require a lot of concentration. As you can see, Joey B is catching up to Stanley, and Stanley finds himself in a nice Red Bull sandwich. As Tier has found a bit of consistency again, and is currently extending the lead out front in the McLaren. It's 9 seconds. Before it looked like the gap was coming down, but perhaps Tier has actually just maybe just worked through some of the graining on those intermediate tyres, and now they're coming back to him. As yes, you can see the track is still a little bit greasy, but it's definitely getting drier by the lap. Interesting conditions to say the least. We've seen around Austria a few times in previous races in various tiers where it just stays like this. It's like it's not raining, but it's greasy all the way through, or it rains and it's dry tires. It's just some weird conditions we get on this game, and this could be another one of those scenarios we are experiencing here. As Tier sets the fastest lap, yes, I would imagine this is Avenir. So drivers will be probably just wearing out these intermediates now for as long as they can. I can imagine they're just holding out, praying for dry tyres. Joey B still the closest battle on track to the car ahead. As you can see, as Stanley makes a mistake there, he's caught a bit too much curb. Can Joey B send a lunge up the inside? He cannot. It's just all about placing the car and trying to execute the overtake, maybe get the undercut on him coming out of a corner, maybe, as Aston Martin driver is really struggling to keep up with Josh, but this is really hurting Joe's pace now in 7th position. We have yellow flags. Primeval has retired. Where is Primeval retired? He's retired in turn 1. Yes, you can see that is a very that was a very poorly placed Williams, and we're not going to get a VSC or a safety car for that retirement. So that is that's Manflo making a horrendous mistake there. Drogon's coming into the pits. He's the first driver to gamble for dry tyres, and yes, what the hell, says Denko. No VSC, no full safety car. Sumo did call it there will be 3 VSCs and the safety car, but into the pits comes Drogon, and Drogon attaches the hard tyres onto the Kick-Sauber. Is it dry conditions? LB Racing setting the fastest lap, as I'm sure we're not far off the crossover point here, as the track does look dry, to be fair. I think Drogon might have got this right. Yeah, it's going to be a bit slow and greasy for the first couple of laps whilst these hard tyres get up to temperature. As you can see, just running a bit deep into that hairpin, but looks a lot more comfortable than what Robsu was when he boxed earlier on, and to be honest, everyone would be a lot more comfortable than that. Bacon Bear into the pits to throw on some hard tyres. I'd imagine the game has given them a call now to come in and box for dry tyres. We'll see what Tier does. No, Tier stays out at the moment. Primeval leaves the session, unfortunately. So, James Gardner, what will he do? Will he come into the pits? No, he stays out as well. Surely, no, Avenir stays out as well. Surely one of those drivers would take the gamble to try and get an undercut. Will Josh? No, Josh stays out as well. We've got Stanley and Joey B. They are both staying out as well. On the intermediate tyres, I would have put my life on one of these guys, just trying to take the gamble and go onto dry tyres. It's pretty close to being dry now, and they're just going to lose, well, not lose a lot of time, but you'd surely want to try and catch your opposition out. My laptop's doing something weird. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Sorry, my laptop just having a moment. So, Tia, will he come into the pits this lap? No, he stays out. So now it's down to James Gardner. Will he come into the pits? Surely one of these top few drivers has got to take the gamble for dry tyres. No, James Gardner. I mean, they're driving it. They can feel it a lot more than what I can just by looking. But is anyone going to take the gamble for dry tyres? No, at the moment. As Drogon is catching LB Racing, is he? Oh, not quite. And the gap's hovering around 6.3, 6.4. Okay. Oh, was he gaining? It looks like his the gap's extended to LB Racing. As LB Racing sets the fastest lap. Drogon sets the fastest lap. Okay, there we go. And that's fastest lap by a considerable amount of distance. So unless Drogon must have made a mistake somewhere. So yes, Drogon, the fastest car on track at the moment. And if that was a sign at 2 box, yeah, you can see actually this lap is the lap, most definitely. Yeah, Tier into the pits. Can he keep it clean and not get any damage? He does keep it clean. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, Robson. I'm gutted for you, mate. You had such a brilliant start, and then I'm guessing just making an error selecting your tyres in the pits. Yeah, just it's just one of those things, mate. Really sorry to see that. Into the pits. There we go. I've worked out what my laptop was doing now. So Tier is out on hard tyres, and I'm quite sure this will probably be hard to the end, I would imagine. So Drogon sets the fastest lap. Where's Drogon going to come out in comparison? Drogon is not too far behind James Gardner, and James Gardner will be hasn't really been undercut by Drogon. So to be fair, Drogon hasn't really gained too much of an advantage. But you saw definitely on the last lap where the tyres just came to life. I'm sorry, Sumo. I don't know what you mean into what. I'm just babbling on here. It's hard to commentate on your own. And I've kind of got one eye on the screen as well, and just other bits too. Stanley moves out of, I wouldn't say he moves out of James Gardner's way there, perhaps just not having the pace as these dry tyre runners. As you can see, Drogon has actually had a moment there with the Aston Martin driver. I'm not too sure what has happened just there, but he's lost a bit of time as the Aston Martin driver comes into the pits, and now Drogon just needs to hit that refresh button and set himself about James Gardner again. He was on great pace as yes, Stanley is the last driver to get off those intermediate tyres. Oh, not too sure who that is there. Is that James Gardner who's had a mistake? Yeah, James Gardner's had a mistake in the Ferrari, and all of a sudden Drogon has got his what he lost behind Stanley has gained the advantage back. We have yellow flags in sector 2, and I'm trying to work out who that is. And yes, Bacon Bear has had a mistake. Bacon Bear's made a mistake, and we have yellow flags, but I don't think that's a... Oh no, Sumo's clipped something, I'm sure. I don't like that. You'll find out. That always worries me. Runes is the fastest driver on track at the moment, as the track just gets drier and drier now, and faster and faster along with that. So Drogon now has James Gardner in his sights once again. Tier sets the fastest lap. Is 11.5 seconds clear of James Gardner, and Tier is definitely having his best ever race in Tier 3. It's a great drive from the McLaren driver out front, as Avenir sets the fastest lap, and all of a sudden we've got an almighty battle for the podium. So second, third and fourth are fighting out for the podium. Joey B goes fastest. And I hope that isn't Joey B's true pace, otherwise he'll be kicking himself being down in 7th position. But I think this is just track evolution as it stands at the moment. So Tier just managing his pace out front. James Gardner has just dropped Drogon slightly, perhaps in the optimum window is these hard tyres. As I would imagine, we're probably going to see a James Gardner fastest lap. Tier is onto the pit straight, starting lap 19 of 36. Around the last corner for James Gardner. And the gap's just under 11 seconds. So, yes, James Gardner is faster than Tier out front, but the gap is pretty damning already. So unless there can be some great tyre management here, it'd be very interesting to see how this race rubber bands. It's stretched out now, and now as we release the elastic on the field, chaos can happen really. Now we've got dry conditions, and be interesting to see who does have the pace. So Josh was fastest in qualifying. Just unable to live up to the qualifying pace in the race here. Good one lap pace overall, but perhaps his race pace is just slightly off. Joey B in the sister Red Bull behind his teammate, not really closing up to his teammate. Ralphie having a nice steady race in 7th position. LB Racing down in 8th, and yes, we've got Runes, who's currently second in the championship, just having by far his worst race of the season, just so far out of it. Bacon Bear, as Avenir has got past Drogon here around the embankment. I've missed it, unfortunately, but a great move nevertheless for Avenir. And now the Alpine driver is in P3, and he has got ahead of Drogon. We have got LB Racing, who's retired, and that is a VSC. LB Racing has binned it. Not too sure how his car's been cleared up. We cannot see. But that's another one who bites the dust, and another position there for Runes. And Runes will definitely be the most frustrated driver on this track. Here will be the most relieved with it being a VSC, but Runes will be crying for a safety car so he can just get back in. And so yes, Manflow into the pits. We have just about to have 16 racing laps left to go. As is anyone going to get a drive-through penalty on when we go back to green flags? Manflo gets a drive-through penalty for his worries again. So Manflo just needs a bit of work on that discipline there for sure. So James Gardner is on the hunt for the race lead here, 10.4 seconds. So yes, James Gardner, definitely the fastest car on track at the moment. You can see he is faster than Tia. So Tia, maybe not right now, but we'll be keeping an eye on that gap behind, and I'd imagine when it gets to if it gets to 5 seconds, that is when you start pressing the panic alarm. But it depends how many laps there is left at that point as well. But James Gardner is definitely the driver on the move at the moment. Avenir overtook Drogon around the bank, and I'm really sorry if I missed that overtake. Please post it in the action of the week when that goes live after this race. So LB Racing, our two-time Tier 3 champion, has retired from this session in Turn 1, and I think he'll be handing over his crown to one of our 4 championship protagonists here, as James Gardner definitely having the best race out of our championship hopefuls at the moment. But Drogon still very hopeful as well for a championship, and he is caught back up to Avenir ahead and is applying the pressure. The field is spread out at the moment, but this is the closest battle on track at the moment, and it is the closest battle for the last step on the podium for 3rd position. The Kick Sauber is chasing the Alpine around Sector 2 at the furthest point away from the start and finish line, but now this left-hander will cut and bring you all the way back up to the closest point to the start and finish line as well, in a blink of an eye. It's a very short track here, as you can see around the banking, and the pit straight is just behind those pit boxes just there. And here we go down the pit straight as, oh no, Drogon's dropped it. Too much acceleration, and he's got front wing damage for his worries. As that's very unfortunate for Drogon, as he has lost 2 positions to the Red Bulls, and that just gives Avenir a very comfortable P3, and that is very unfortunate for Drogon. But James Gardner will be purring like a Cheshire cat at the moment. So there's no Lufis tonight in the Mercedes. He is unable to make this week, so he won't be scoring anything. Runes is in 10th. He won't be scoring too many points. Drogon is in 6th. He'll be scoring a handy amount of points. But James Gardner, if he can carry on this pace and win, he will be on for a great haul of points. And the gap is 8.6 seconds. And this is really, really enthralling to see if he can close up 2 tier. So Avenir is kind of in a very comfortable P3 at the moment, as is James Gardner in a very comfortable P2. But James Gardner will not be content with... Oh no, Sumo's posted the clip. I don't want to see that clip, Sumo. As yes, Tia on the hard tyres. 8 seconds clear of James Gardner as it stands. And yes, James Gardner. Drogon is in the pits, is he? Yes, he needed front wing change. He damaged his front wing on his spin, so I'm not surprised to see Drogon pitting there. But now Drogon, everyone called Runes a bottle job, but Drogon is down there with him now, and Runes will be, well, breathe a sigh of relief that one of his championship rivals is down here with him. But his other championship rival, James Gardner, is coming to life. in the Ferrari. Keeping it very neat and tidy. Tia also keeping it very neat and tidy out front. No track limit penalties yet for Tia. Yeah, so unless you catch a curb and the game throws you off, then it would be very unfortunate, as Tia just looks like he's just almost being overly cautious not to get a track limits penalty, as we can see the gap. James Gardner is definitely utilising the track a lot more than Tia is at the moment. So unless Tia is on 2 warnings or something, we have yellow flags out there that look like potentially for Joey B, but I don't think that's anything doing at the moment. So yes, the field is currently spread out, as I think Drogon has made another mistake. He has. Drogon's race has just completely gone down the pan here, which is not what he would like to see. So he does have Runes within his DRS now, and Runes will be eyeing up a position here. And they will, well, they won't want to come to blows, but it'll be very important as to who can finish ahead of each other here. It's advantage Drogon in that case. But Runes can see the prize just ahead, and Drogon just ekes out a gap out of DRS at the moment. Yep, so Avenir just having a very quiet, uneventful race in P3 at the moment. We've got a great overtake done on Drogon around the banking in turn 1, but there's not been the same since then. So James Gardner on the hard tyres. I'd like to know how much these hard tyres have worn at the moment. I think I have a little insight as to how much they've worn, and at what point do you think is it worth to maybe gamble for a set of mediums? Try and catch a Tia out, maybe. So my estimations at the moment is that I think he's definitely in the 40% sort of range on the tyre wear at the moment here, and there's 10 laps to go. And how long he's been on these tyres for 11 laps, 11 laps now. So by the time that we come to the end of this race, they're going to be in puncture territory. So at what point does would James Gardner think, actually, I'm not going to get to the end of the race on these tyres? Do I box and put on a set of medium tyres and just go hell for leather at the end of the race and just be ultimately faster than the car ahead? As maybe Tia is managing his tyres as well. Maybe Tia is just... I think he's definitely managing not to get a track limits penalty. I would think that is why the gap is coming down as it is. It's 5.5 seconds at the moment. And in a minute, James Gardner will be able to see his nearest challenger on track ahead. And once you start seeing the car ahead on track, you can eat away at the gap. And Ralphie gets a speeding in the pit lane 10-second penalty. So yes, tyre wear in the dry conditions is the aim of the game here. Who can manage their tyres? Drogon, fastest lap, 1 minute 12.2. Just under 3 seconds off qualifying pace was Drogon with that, but he will have a bit more fuel in the car. So the gap is 5.3 seconds to Tia, who is ahead at the moment, and you can just see Tia going around the banking now in the McLaren ahead. but it'll be down to who can manage their tyres to the end of the race. We have, I think it's 7 racing laps to go, or well, 7.5 at least. Anyway, Tia is halfway round the lap. So Drogon has pulled clear of Runes, and now Drogon is on the case of Ralphie ahead in the McLaren. We do have yellow flags. Not too sure what that is for, unless, yeah, Stanley's had a moment. Yeah, and Stanley has passed by, I think that's a back marker of Manflow. So now Ralphie, Drogon has all of a sudden has 2 positions ahead of him in Ralphie and Stanley, and he is on the better tyres, and we do have more yellow flags as Bacon Bear has taken another excursion as Tia catches up to Bacon Bear. The gap is now within 5 seconds with 7 laps to go, and yes, I think this is almost beginning to be panic stations for Tia. And what does Tia do? The gap is closing down now. Does Tia maybe take a gamble and box for the medium tyres to the end? This would be something I'd definitely be considering if you're struggling for tyre wear. Or, yeah, I know he's being very conservative at the moment. That's my main concern for Tia here at the moment, is maybe just being far too conservative in the McLaren. As we can see, the gap is just causing him a bit of trouble, and Tia is caught behind Bacon Bear, and Tia's going to get DRS out of this. Bacon Bear does move out the way, and Tia does get a help in hand of DRS, so Tia's going to eke out a little bit of a gap down this straight, potentially. James Gardner is burning his ERS, and not too much of an advantage DRS there, so we'll keep an eye on these front runners as Joey B has got past Josh the Guy. Maybe a bit of team orders going on here, as Joey B does indeed let his teammate back past, so not too sure what instructions are going on there. So Drogon has got past Stanley, and Drogon now is trying to chase down Ralphie, but Ralphie is just keeping Drogon at bay. Ralphie's having a very solid race in P7. Nemo having a good solid race in P6 as well. Very lonely P6 for Nemo at the moment. The 2 Red Bulls are just dueling it out together on their own, and then Avenir just very nicely... I'm not too sure what Joe and Tia are doing. They swap places numerous times. But I think we will focus on this battle for the lead here. James Gardner chasing down Tia. There is 5 laps to go. And my intel is that James Gardner is on 60... in the 60s with tyre wear at the moment, at least anyway. So 60% on tyre wear. Yeah, so if he's on 60%, I wonder how Tia's doing. It's all down to who can manage these tyres. You'd be devastated to get a puncture at the end of this race. So perhaps maybe not all lost for Avenir in 3rd place at the moment. Not having the pace to keep up with the front 2. So James Gardner is catching up to Bacon Bear. Will James Gardner get some DRS from Bacon Bear? Perhaps. Maybe a little bit too far back, dare I say. As Bacon Bear moves out the way. Yeah, no DRS there for James Gardner. So the gap's just under 4 seconds. His progress has halted somewhat. but he can see the leader ahead in Tier. Tier is just 3.9 seconds ahead of James Gardner, who is frantically trying to close the gap, and Tier will not want a track limits penalty now. You can see this is definitely the part of the track where James Gardner excels on the McLaren driver, at least. But I think maybe Tier just does have enough in the bank to hold on to the race win here. Not many cars wanting to go into 8th gear going down that straight there. 3.5 seconds is the gap. So James Gardner has got to find some mega pace if he can on these last few laps. Yeah, so James Gardner is closing down on Tier. And I'd imagine Tier's tyre wear will roughly be the same as James Gardner. As you can see, a chunk of time has been made on this lap already. So maybe this race isn't over. We have yellow flags at the back. As Drogon does get past Ralphie, and Drogon will probably almost certainly get Nemo at some point. We will keep an eye on that, but at the moment we want to keep an eye on this battle out the front at the moment for the race lead, as Tier has lost a lot of time, and there is just going to be 2 racing laps to go. Yeah, you can see that McLaren has just hemorrhaged time to the Ferrari. So now down the pit straight, the Ferrari chases the leading McLaren. Drogon has indeed got past Nemo, and fairly easily as well. So Drogon up to 6th position. So a good recovery there from Drogon to recover to 6th position. I am sorry I couldn't keep an eye on Drogon. At the moment, we're trying to see whether James Gardner can close up to Tier, as I think these 2 drivers are in puncture territory on these hard tyres at the moment. We can't rule anything out. The gap is now under 2 seconds. He should have it, Jack, but just the gap at the moment is crazy. He's lost so much time. It's going to be all or nothing. So now Tier is starting the last lap, and so is James Gardner, as James Gardner has just valiantly closed up the gap to Tier out in front. And can he get within a second at the DRS detection point? I don't think so. Yeah, I think perhaps James Gardner just needed another 2 laps or so. As my estimations is that James Gardner is on 78% tyre wear, his worst tyre at the moment. So Tier must be nearly around that as well. It's going to be very interesting to see if any of these 2 have a blowout on this last lap. Anyway, we're into the last sector of this Netherlands Grand Prix. Netherlands reverse it is, and perhaps James Gardner is having lower wings, but yes, James has done valiantly to close up the 10-second gap. It's just not enough, unfortunately, to get the race win. Tier comes around the last corner, and he is going to win his first Tier 3 race just ahead of James Gardner. He does indeed take the checker flag, and the Ferrari comes home in 2nd position. So McLaren of Tier in 1st, James Gardner in 2nd. Avenir is going to come home in 3rd position. A great result for Avenir in the Alpine. Well done. GG's all around. as Joey B and Josh DeGuy side by side around the last corner. I think Joe has let him go. Yeah, there we go. And across the line for Joe. Drogon is going to come home in 6th position. And Drogon does come home in 6th. Ralphie is going to come home potentially in 8th position here. Can Nemo snatch 7th position? He does. Nemo in 7th. A great result for Nemo. Stanley comes home in 9th position. Runes has finished in 10th. Bacon Bear has finished in 11th. And Manflo is about to finish in 12th position in the Alpine. There we have it. Congratulations to Tier, who has won the race. His first ever Tier 3 victory has done him very nicely around Zandvoort in reverse. And I would imagine a very popular winner would Tier be. So let's quickly round off the results. So Tier is our race winner today. And yes, a great win for Tier, who started 2nd on the grid. James Gardner comes home in a very impressive 2nd position as well. Avenir in 3rd position. Josh DeGuy in 4th. Joey B in 5th. Drogon in 6th. Nemo in 7th. Stanley 8th. Ralphie 9th. Runes in 10th. Bacon Bear 11th. Manflo in 12th. And then we have 4 drivers who are unclassified, which is LB, Primeval, Robsu, and MS. And fastest lap of the day went to Drogon with a 1 minute 12. It's 1 minute 12.273. So that was good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that race. So now it is down to me to award Driver of the Day. Well, this is going to be hard today. There's been a few good drives. I mean, it's going to be between one of the front two. I think I'm going to give Driver of the Day. I know I don't like giving it to the winner, but Tier with his first win in Tier 3 and just holding on and not getting a track limits penalty. Yeah, it has to be Tier. It's just we all have a little bit of a giggle at Tier getting track limits penalties, but you know what? He's done well to come home in the race lead. Avenir, that's a great drive, mate. Well done. Should be very happy with P3. So yes, I'm going to give Driver of the Day to Tier. Just to quickly, as always, point you guys in the right direction for the rest of this week. Everyone get in the Discord and tag Ghost to upload the podcast. Go crazy in the general chat or Tier 3 chat or whichever chat. Just tag him and get the job. He'll get the job done tonight, hopefully. Tomorrow, Tier 2 will just be finishing. Keep an eye on the Discord channel, the commentator stream for Ghost's Discord channel. He'll be commentating with Daka, as always, on Tier 2 on a Tuesday night, which is nice to see. And then Friday, we head to Tier 1. I think commentary is nothing official has been set yet. We will find out later this week. And on Sunday, Elite take on Zandvoort Reverse for what is a very promising and tight championship in Elite also. Right, I think that is everything from me for tonight. So thank you everybody for tuning in and your comments along the way. It's been great to have you. And yes, I will see you on the track tomorrow and Friday and I think Sunday too. So yes, thank you all ever so much for tuning in. And yes, we've got to keep an eye on our APP Instagram. Actually, yes, let's just quickly finish the stream, giving that a shout out. Yes, our APP Instagram. Kevin has kindly volunteered to look after our social media on Insta. So please do go and give Instagram a follow. And yes, see Kevin's great work. He keeps it up to date. And yeah, does a great job. So yeah, keep out for any goodies. I believe he's going to try and get interviews onto Instagram as well. So please do keep an eye on our social media channels. And yep, that is it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You're all the best. I have the best community. Thank you all so much, and goodbye.